Hi, bear with me because, well, number one, I'm sitting facing the sun, so I had to have some glasses. Um, my name is Michael. I live here in the deep red state of Texas. And I've been following what's been going on in New York State with a squirrel named Peanut and a raccoon named Fred. And it's sickening, it's disgusting. Should never have happened. Not really positive if it all happened the way the New York State DEC is even claiming it happened. And here's the reason why. Number one, they are perfectly healthy animals. Number two, they've been living in the guy's house with the guy. The guy's name is Mark. Number three, you do that test where they kill the animals and they decapitate them and they send their heads off to a lab for rabies testing. That's expensive. That's thousands of dollars per animal. Also, it takes about a month to get the results back. And if the results were to come back positive, any person that was exposed to rabies from them would have already been sick beyond belief and probably would die. That's just not the way you do it. If you have the animals in hand and they're alive and they're healthy and you have any suspicion that they might have rabies, you quarantine them and you watch them and you feed them and you water them. And if they keep eating and they keep drinking and they keep peeing and pooping and they take care of themselves, they groom themselves, and nothing bad happens to them, within 10 days or so, you can pretty well be certain that they don't have rabies. Raccoons especially don't live very long once they have rabies. It is fatal very quickly. A rabid raccoon isn't going to eat anything. It's not going to drink anything. They have very, very obvious symptoms of rabies. Furthermore, I have not been able to find any occurrence where any human has ever died from a raccoon. And I know that no human has ever died from a squirrel. Now, you can't say that much about people's dogs, because lots of people get mauled, killed, and even eaten in this country because of dogs. In fact, over Halloween, this last Halloween, some kids trick-or-treating with their parents were attacked by a group of dogs. Pit bulls again. Go figure that. The parents got severely mauled trying to protect the kids from the dogs. Saw a video of them. One of the guys had just awful wounds. So he had wounds on his neck. He had wounds on his face. He was covered in bandages. That's what dogs do. That's not what raccoons do. That's not what squirrels do. Second, I want to point out, it's not just Mark in New York State that's going through this nightmare. There are others of us that have had the same thing done to us that are going through this right now. I live here in Red, Texas. They did the same thing to me here. Only they didn't even bother to get a warrant here. They just came right in and illegally seized my crab-eating raccoons that I had spent 25 years breeding and hand-raising. These animals are extremely affectionate, extremely sweet, extremely playful. I never put them online. I never put them on video to post online. I was concerned that somebody would try to use them against me to try to hurt me. And even so, somebody did. And I have a pretty good idea who they are. I have lawsuits filed against the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department right now. My attorney has already, as this week, filed motions to set trial dates. And we have a list of witnesses that we'll be submitting that Texas Parks and Wildlife will have to produce for the trial. They're not going to like it. They don't like me. In fact, I have a feeling that they would really like it if I was dead. So I'm staying pretty much in hiding as much as I can. I encourage everybody to go out and vote today. I really do. I won't be, because I don't have a home right now, because they've done this to me. I can't even try to establish a homestead or a home at this point because I'm trying my best not to let them know exactly where I could be found. It's frightening. It is extremely frightening. It's got to stop. And if somebody like Elon Musk wants to help, he's the richest man in the whole world. He's welcome to help. I would welcome his help. Mark would welcome his help. Dana at RingTail Rescue in the Carolinas, I bet she would appreciate his help too. Because unlike Mark, and I'm not taking anything away from Mark, Mark seems like a really great guy. I love the way he interacted with those animals. I love the fact that he cared for them. Mark has a huge following because he was putting Peanut online. He was sharing his love for Peanut with the world. That's wonderful. And nobody should be attacked and penalized for that. I was afraid to do that. I never put my animals online because I feared that somebody would try to get at me through them. And even so, after I started experiencing flooding at my house, it kept filling my house up with storm water and sewage, and I complained about a new subdivision that had been put in down the street from me, and I complained, and the Liberty County officials ignored me and threatened me, and then the next thing I knew, I had game wardens knocking on my front door. They didn't bring a warrant. In fact, in the red state of Texas, they wrote themselves a policy exempting themselves from the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights. So they don't have to get a warrant in Texas. So for all these people that are complaining about blue New York State is what they're talking about. And of course, New York City is definitely blue. I have no doubt of that. But if they think voting red is going to make things better, it doesn't. It's exactly the same. In fact, it might even be a little worse. And I'm not trying to put a political spin on this. I'm honestly not. But I just want people to know that it's just as bad here in Texas. It's just as bad in the Carolinas. At any rate, I'm still hopeful to get at least some of my animals back. I've got Texas Parks and Wildlife's own documents that explicitly state that they don't even regulate all raccoons. Freedom of Information Act requested how do you tell the difference? Guess what? They came back with, we don't know. Wonderful. They don't know, but they took my animals. This is akin to, let's just say, with Mark's case, and the permitting for the squirrel and the raccoon. This is akin to, what if you were driving and you got pulled over for expired license tags? And let's just say, right on the spot, they confiscate your car and they crush it, and then they shred it, and they cite you for it. Does that sound at all fair or reasonable in the United States of America that they would do that? Because that's exactly what this is. Only this is worse because we're talking about living creatures that have feelings. We're talking about people that love those creatures. It's not right. It's got to stop. I believe the New York State DEC has dug themselves a hole, and I believe they're lying. And as we all know, you can't dig yourself out of a hole. But there's a couple of million people that would very much like to bury them in it. So they better get right. They better produce a squirrel and a young raccoon that is an exact match for Peanut and for Fred. And then they better apologize for the horrible lie they put out. And I wish Mark the best. I really do. I called one of the news agencies that was reporting on him, and I talked with their news manager. And, I was in tears. I've been in tears a lot lately. I'm tired of crying. I'm angry. If you watched till the end of this, I thank you very much. And if you want to contact me, you're more than welcome to. I probably can't tell you how, because YouTube would probably remove this. But I'm not that hard to find online. I do have Facebook. And you're welcome to look me up and send me a message. I need some support, because I don't have any. Thank you again. Bye-bye.